Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Elias here, Weekly Wrestling Heat. We're back with another episode. I got my boy Moise here tonight. What's going on, Moise?
What's up? What's up? Very big week of wrestling this week.
Oh, yes. The WWE Draft started last Friday on SmackDown, and it ended on Monday on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah,
Overall,
and
what are your
we'll
thoughts?
talk about the draft. But
Okay.
before I get into my thoughts, I'll go through the free agent list of people who haven't been drafted to the show yet. So Brock Lesnar is obviously a free agent. He announced that on Friday. John Cena, Undertaker, obvious. Now and Shane McMahon. So now I'm going to get into the people that are actually on the roster that are competing. Okay, so Bailey and Oscar are free agents. I think what they're gonna do with Bailey is hold her off to see whatever show has like a lull in the women's division in a couple of months,
Yeah.
and that's where they'll have Bailey surprise. Oscar, I think they will hold off until Io debuts.
Yeah, I think that, or they're gonna wait till Royal Rumble. There's no telling exactly how long her injury is gonna take to heal.
Because it's an
So
injury. It's not what Melcher said. It's not, oh, they have nothing for her.
no, it's legitly she's injured. She literally came out and was there with the legit and cast and everything. So, um, yeah, I'm interested to see where she's gonna go.
All right, then we got Grand Metalik and Lince Dorado. I think they're going to get cut.
Grand Metalik, I think, was he actually put in his request to be released. So I don't know if he's going to make the cut, or if he's going to be one of those ones that gets released in the next round of cuts whenever they happen. Generally,
I think what they should do is if they're going to go, sorry, if they're going to go very character driven on NXT, I think Grand Metalik and Lince could be a good fit in NXT.
I agree. I think I agree to a certain extent. I just think that at this point, I think at this point it's one of those situations where you're going to um you're gonna you're basically gonna work with the NXT 2.0 is basically developmental, so you're kind of throwing a risk out there if you put them out there, and see if they make it over or don't get over, either or. So
They could always have these two interfere in the Legato match next week, where Santos is fighting for the title, which we both think Santos is probably going to win because Hit Row got called up.
yeah,
Um, Eva Marie is also a free agent. I think you hold her off until you decide, until you have the next big dominant heel woman, or until Nia comes back or something, put her with that woman.
are you real? I don't know. I think the Eva Marie experiment isn't working. Well, I don't know. I think it worked because she got the heat she got the heat. She got Dewdrop over, and it's working. So I don't know how to feel about it. To be honest with you.
There was always the rumor that they were going to pair her with Parker Bordeaux, who also made an appearance on NXT finally.
Yeah.
Um, so we'll see what happens with that. Then you have Lacey Evans, who's out pregnant right now.
Mm-hmm.
I could always see they could. The good thing with Lacey is it's open ended. They could bring her back as a face or a heel against Charlotte if they want to do that down the line.
If they want to continue those, that whatever storyline was going on, but
Yeah,
on
and
that
then
one, I don't know about that one.
let's just wait and see with Lacey. And then
Yeah.
you have Elias, Titus, and Shane Thorne. Elias, I'm interested in, And I've always been a Titus O'Neil fan. I think Titus, what they're going to do is just keep him free agent, have him make like the occasional appearances to talk about Connor's Cure, Susan G. Komen, whatever fundraiser they're running at the time.
Do the work that he's already doing for the
Yeah.
company outside of the ring.
Yeah, and especially now that the Miz is on Dancing with the Stars, depending on how long he goes in that, Miz is always one of the guys who's at the front and center of it with Titus. So Titus can get a little more of that work in while Miz is on Dancing with the Stars. And yeah, what do you think they're going to do with Elias and St. Thorne?
I know they repackaged Shane Thorne at his request, so I know that one was a I don't know where he goes. I mean, does he go? I think Raw got the kind of downside of the deal on this one. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this draft. I feel kind of like meh, because it's like when you look at the rosters, like for both brands, you see the talent. Like you got AJ Styles, Rey Mysterio, you got Damian Priest, Kevin Owens, Rhea Ripley, Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, Riddle, Ziggler, Mia Yim, Robert Roode. For Raw, and on the SmackDown side, you have Jeff Hardy, Ricochet, Angel Garza, Jay the Usos, Rich Holland, Roman Reigns, um, uh, Hit Road, Sasha, Naomi. You got all these people that are top, but like it seems that SmackDown got, of course, Charlotte. So SmackDown kind of got like the younger, not the younger, but they got like the more popular people, I guess, in a way.
See, so I was the opposite. I thought Raw uploaded on that upper mid card, which they need to, because aside from the main story, a lot of people don't care about what's going on Raw. So I think it helps that they got like a Kevin Owens, they got they got Edge and Seth Rollins there too, you know?
I it's Finn Balor, so I think it got the rosters got kind of evened out. I guess that's the
Yeah.
best way to put it. They got evened out because at one point last year, SmackDown had all the talent, all the good big names, and now since a lot of people have made themselves within the past year, they have a balance in the roster where it's where you have top talent, you have mid card talent. The only thing that kind of is struggling in a sense is the tag teams and the women's tag teams.
I think the Raw tag team division looks pretty solid on paper. So you got AJ and Omos, you got RK Bro, you've got
Mysterios.
Mysterios now, you've got Street
You have,
Profits now.
and then you also have the Hurt Business.
You also have the Hurt Business, and you have um, one more team. They got rid of the Viking Raiders, right? Oh, you got Gable and Otis. You got Gable and Otis there now too.
Wait, what did you say? Sorry, you cut off in the last part of it.
You have Gable and Otis there as well.
Oh yeah, I forgot they switched them over.
Yeah, and then on SmackDown, you've got Humberto and Angel. You've got the tag
Yeah,
team champions, obviously. You've got
Hit Row.
yeah, you got
Or
Hit Row. You got the Usos. You've got
Mansoor and Ali
Mansoor and Ali. You've got
and the New Day.
and the New Day. So not only that, I think two of the three between MSK, Grizzled Young Veterans, and Imperium is going to get called up.
I agree. I think either Imperium or MSK is going to get called up because MSK and
Whoever loses the title match, right? And it seems like Grizzled Young Veterans, they just kind of left out there too, and I think they're going to also. And you have the Dirty Dogs on Raw as well.
And I think they're gonna probably end up taking the Grizzled Young Vets back to NXT UK eventually.
I think I think they would be fun on Raw. I think the stuff they could do with Street Profits would be fun. I think
Yeah.
they could have like a fun feud with the Mysterios. The one thing that really upset me about this draft is they separated Sami Zayn from Dominic Mysterio. It seemed like Sammy was going to be that, yo, your dad doesn't know what's going on anymore. Like he's not hip with the newer generation or whatever. It seems like they're going to go that way.
They're trying to go with that heel turn, and I think one thing that Ray kind of was against on that point was that even he said it in an interview that he didn't want to go against his son. So I think they kind of honored that and let him go into go do his own thing. They let them go do their own thing on Raw.
As of right now, do you think Damian Priest is going to win the Rumble? Because he's my pick to win the Rumble right now.
I kind of agree. I think they put a slingshot on him, and he's taken off pretty well. He's been able to keep up with the top stars. So I see no reason for him not to get put on top of anything.
Yeah, and then we both wanted to see Shayna Baszler go to SmackDown. She is on SmackDown now. I think SmackDown will use her better too, honestly.
Yeah, and I think the women's divisions for both brands got pretty solid. Because if you look at Raw, you have Becky Lynch, you have Bianca, Liv, Rhea, and Alexa, Dana, Mia Yim, which I want to see more of. Doudrop, Naya when she gets back to Pina, Nikki. I'm trying to look, Zelina, and like that. They have a pretty solid roster.
Liv and Carmella too, right?
Yeah. So, and then when you look at
oh, and they got Shotzi or Tegan. Which one did they get?
Tegan, and then SmackDown got Shotzi.
Which, I mean, I'm not surprised. We're probably not going to see them on TV again.
I would say you will. I don't think they wouldn't put him back on TV.
Why would you break up with working with the tag team?
I think that was just a last minute decision to try to like beef up the roster. In my opinion.
I was surprised they kept Ember Moon in NXT. I really thought she was going to call up again.
The way that her tenure in NXT has been going, I kind of thought so too. But I was surprised that she stayed on there, and it looks like she's headed towards another heel turn as well.
I would like if they teamed her up with Andriel Howard, Lash Legend. If Lash was like her manager, because Ember's not that great on the mic. She doesn't ooze of charisma like Legend does.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And I think the Last Legend talk show last week, we didn't talk about it. I thought it was very funny, very on point. It's different than the regular talk shows we're getting, the KO show or whatever, the VIP lounge. It's different than that. So I like the setup of that. We'll go straight into NXT, and then we'll save AEW for the end. Yeah, I like what they're doing with Last Legend. I like what they're doing with Braun Breaker. I like what they're doing with Joe Gacy, and I like what they're doing with the person I just said. Last Legend, sorry. So we can see where they go with those. NXT did take another dip in viewership again, so we'll see how that goes.
I think with them, they're going to stay in that consistent group of. They're not going to go under 600. They'll probably get to 600 or go up to 700. I don't think we're going to see anything above or below it. I think that's the consistent viewership that they're going to have.
Yeah.
I really did enjoy that 4-way elimination tag between MSK, Grizzly Betts, Josh Briggs, Brooke Jensen, Carmelo Hayes, and Trick Williams.
Yeah, same here. And I think Halloween Havoc, we're going to get Von Wagner and O'Reilly versus Dunn and Holland. Holland got drafted to SmackDown. I think that will be Holland's last match on NXT.
Yeah, I agree. How much do you think that Von Wagner's going to turn on Kyle O'Reilly?
Dude, I think they are both boring as hell.
I like Kyle O'Reilly in the ring, but after that, it's kind of like
the charisma is not there. They mentioned it on the Wrestling Inc. podcast yesterday. If you're gonna pair Kyle O'Reilly up with someone, it has to be like a Cameron Grimes or a, Joe Gacy or something like that. Where the person has character.
Well, and I think what made him successful in when he was in Undisputed was because he had Adam Cole as the mouthpiece,
Mm-hmm.
and then even if Adam Cole wasn't good on the mic, he was good in the ring, and Bobby Fish and what's his name? I'm drawing a blank today. He's part of the Diamond Mine now. Roderick Strong. Um, they made up for it, so they made up for each other's weaknesses. So I think once he became a solo guy, I think he started off good, and then he just lost that momentum, and then that staleness on the mic, that he doesn't have no real charisma on it. It sounded kind of monotone-ish, so I think that took away from what
Him
Kyle
and
O'Reilly.
Wagner, dude. That was the most boring conversation I've seen on TV. I was like, dude, I don't care. I want y'all to get beat up at this point.
So okay, so here's the question that I want to ask you. What was your thought of what is your actual thought of this new faction with with Mandy Rose, Toxic Attraction?
So I wasn't really digging it last week, but then I saw that the YouTube numbers are very high on it. It's the highest rated segment. It's growing on me slowly.
I think that it's going to pay off in a sense, because Mandy is not bad in the ring. Like, she's actually gotten better than what she was. She has the charisma, she has the mic work. The in-ring work is still the one thing that you kind of want to see more of.
Yeah, and she had a decent match with Ember. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. It was decent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just.
I'm just really digging the new look. Like, that's pretty much.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about Gigi and Jocelyn, what they're doing with them. I gotta see more of it. I'm just so into the odd couple with Io and Stark, and I'm just loving everything Raquel does. So that's why I'm kind of like, dude, I wish someone else got signed. And here's the thing, if you ask me who the top 5 women I care about in NXT are right now, it's the 3 champions, Raquel, Io, and Stark. And then the next 2, it's not anyone in Toxic. It's Cora and Legend are the 5 I care about right now. And Taya was up there. Sorry, Frankie. Frankie was up there, but it seems like they don't know what they're doing with her either. So Cora and Last Legend are the last 2 in there for me.
I really like Cora. I think that I liked her when she was in the Indies, and I think that Cora is gonna be. I think Cora is gonna be the next face of the division in a year or so. I think that they're gonna stick a rocket on her, and she's gonna take off. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, freaking Frankie made her look good.
I think AEW needs to watch how NXT books Cora, and that's what they got to do with Sky Blue when they start giving her the wins. If they got the similar stature, they got similar look. I think you throw a similar character on Sky Blue, and I think that's where you see how it goes.
Most definitely agree. I think that she has a she has a lot of potential. So I think she can do pretty well. So I'm interested to see, but let's see what happens with her. I mean, it's I don't know what
Like,
else to say. I
like
mean,
where would you put Toxic Attraction on that list? Because I think you would put Indy over them right now too.
yeah, no, I agree. I wouldn't. I think they're if it was a top 10, they'll be like the last three on my top 10
I
because
agree.
because it would be like the three champions, like you said. It'll be Frankie, Cora,
Indy.
Legend, Indy, and then when you get to the last three, it'll be those three.
And here's the thing: I hope they don't do this. It seems like it will happen. I think Indy's tag team partner Portia is gonna leap up too because when you care about Indy, you're gonna care about Portia.
Yeah, and I think even on the match yesterday, like she looked really good. Even just taking the bump that she took. So I'm interested to see the women's division in NXT has a lot of bright new talent and homegrown talent. Frankie is definitely the veteran of the bunch, along with EO and Zoe.
Dude, I would want to see
So
more of Amari Miller than Toxic, honestly.
Amari Miller is
Local to you,
Amari
right?
Miller. Yeah, local. She was AQA at Reality Wrestling, so I saw a lot of her. Her and Roxy had a lot of nice ass matches here for the title. So her, Miranda, and Alex Garcia. So
Yeah, so I want to see where they go with that. It's just, I feel like, don't give me too much Toxic Attraction. Like, I get they're your highest rate segment, they're your most viewed YouTube segment, but don't give me too much of it right now.
yeah, just like take it on and off a little by little. Don't oversaturate it because other than that, it gets to the point where it'll kind of get like boring or kind of get stale. And that's my only
Like,
fear about Toxic Attraction.
I'd be fine with Mandy getting a title shot, but I say you hold off on the tag team. Like, have them lose to Indy and Portia, so Indy and Portia get the tag title match before they do, you know? Or have them lose to Casey and Caden again, so Casey and Caden get the match. Those
Yeah,
are the
I
other two
agree.
I care about more than Toxic Attraction because Casey and Caden are so damn entertaining.
Yes, and they're pretty good in the ring too, especially Casey with her the way that she is in the ring, the acrobatics and her background. So um I kind of want them to get. I honestly, I don't know what to think about the women's division in the main roster as far as tag teams because it's to the point now where you pretty much killed the tag team division because you really don't have any women's tag teams apart from the same people that you typically had. So
Well, you broke up Nia and Tamina too. Or, sorry,
yeah,
Tamina
you broke up
and Natalia, sorry.
Natty,
Yeah,
and then you broke up Shotzi and
Teague.
Keegan. So it's like, what are you gonna do now? So
All right, let's jump back to main roster. We'll jump around. Give me your
mhm.
picks right now for King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring.
I think it's going to be from the Raw side. I think it's going to be Xavier, not Xavier. On the Raw side of things, I think it's going. Hold on, let me pull up the. I think it's going to be AJKO. It's going to be Apollo, Austin.
It can't be AJ because AJ got the tag title match in Saudi.
Oh yeah. It's probably going to be Lashley, Gable, Finn, Edge.
Lashley's got Goldberg.
Oh yeah, Finn, Gable, Edge. Oh wait, no, Edge has Seth
I got
Rollins.
Rollins. Yeah, just give me
So
Give me your final four. Give me your final two. What's going to be the King of the Ring match at Saudi? What's going to be the Queen of the Ring match at Saudi?
shit, I don't know.
All right,
It's
here's what
kind
I
of
think it's going to be.
all
I
right.
think it's going to be. I think. I think it's going to be either Xavier or Happy Corbin from SmackDown. Xavier is just a fanboy in me, wanting Xavier to win it. I think it's going to be Happy Corbin. and I think it's going to be Apollo from Raw because he's already
But
royalty, quote unquote.
But Apollo, I mean, Corbin already had the King of the Ring.
Yeah, but I think they're going to push this happy character down our throats. So,
I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be Woods.
I could let's say Xavier and Apollo, because then at Survivor Series, if you want to do a cross promotional match, you can at the tag teams.
Yeah.
And then on
the women, I think it's the women's
I already
side.
know
I think
who's
it's
going to win.
I think it's going to be Liv and I think it's going to be Liv against. I'd probably say like Liv versus. I don't know.
Liv I think Shayna wins it. I think Shayna wins it.
Yeah, I think it's going to end up with Liv and Shayna at the end.
Yeah, I think Shayna will win. It's messed up to say this, but like Shayna is also very covered up when she wrestles as it is.
Yeah.
And that's gonna help in the Saudi mindset. You know, like
yeah.
I'm not trying to sound like a dick, but you get what I'm trying to say.
No, because even like on the even last year or the last time that they did something, everybody was covered up, so they had to get special gear for this. They're not gonna let them just go out like their regular gear is. So even Shayna, even though she's covered up, she still shows them the mid.
Yeah.
So it's like they're gonna definitely have some new gear for that. So
but I think Shayna would look badass in like a Team SmackDown shirt. You know, I think she would still look scary, you know, if that's what we're going for. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if just because Saudi, if they did Tamina and Shayna, just because the women are already mostly covered up, as messed up as it is to say.
Yeah, no, most definitely agree on that. And I think with Liv, if Liv is in the final, I think you'll have something around those lines where, like I said, it's going to be new gears for everybody, like Sasha, Bianca,
Owen and Brett won it, right?
Yeah.
The King of the Ring? Owen and Brett both won?
I think it was just Brett.
No, Owen won and got the title shot against his brother when he turned heel, remember?
Oh, yeah.
So, maybe Natalya.
It could be. I mean, she's basically been put as the Queen of Hearts. So I mean, Queen's Crown. It would look good to have her on. It would look good to have her as champion, as
the Queen of Hearts versus the Queen of Hearts versus the Queen of Spades. Yeah, that'd be a good match. And you know, Natalya and Shayna, they could deliver if they got like solid 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, I definitely agree on that. So
I also like the move of Shayna to SmackDown because she can be a hired gun for Sonya against Naomi.
Yeah. Yeah, no, most definitely agree. There's a lot of possibilities and interesting possibilities with that. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen.
All right. Tony Deangelo. Let's talk about boy, Tony.
Okay, so Tony Deangelo, at first I was like, oh man, this is gonna be a corny gimmick, you know, with the whole thing with the whole thing.
I'm from the mafia, bro.
Yeah, Chicago Monster and stuff like that. I thought it was gonna be kind of corny, but once he debuted, it kind of grew on me a little bit because of the fact that like what caught my attention was him what really caught my attention was him actually paying off the ref at the beginning.
I think it's like, so bad it's good.
I agree. I think that's the case of it. I think it's so bad that it's good. So, and I think NXT is getting over with the gimmicks a lot. So I think that was one of the reasons why he's so over or got over the first night, because the crowd wasn't against him; they were for him. So
the one gimmick change that I did not like was the Duke Hudson becoming a poker player.
Yeah,
Just because
that's
I would like to see Wade Barrett eventually become a manager for Duke Hudson.
I agree on that. I'm not I think even with Gacy's gimmick got turned down a little bit, so kind of like still kind of you're like what the hell, but he's still kind of trying to push the buttons on it, so it isn't bad. Um but um
Remember when
but
Meltzer said it was going to be canceled?
yeah, I don't know about that one.
Mm-hmm. Dude, I'm getting to the point of you with like Meltzer and Alvarez now. Um, especially with Meltzer because I've met Peter Rosenberg and I loved the dude. Really nice guy, cares about his fans. And when that
Yeah.
article came out where they said Peter Rosenberg and ESPN paid for him to win the 24/7 title and it came out as bogus, like, and then the Alexa stuff too, like it really got cringeworthy to me.
Yeah, no, that's a that I kind of like when the stuff started popping off. Like here's the thing about like the I guess it's a little rant, but now like ringside news is along those lines with Meltzer and Alvarez because they keep getting called out. They keep getting called out for their misinformation that they're doing. So it's kind of annoying now because it's like you put out a story, then the wrestlers come out and be like, "Nah, this is BS." And like the bad thing about ringside news is that they argue with these guys. And I'm sitting there like, you really arguing with the wrestler that is actually going through the things and actually doing the things. And you're over here trying to tell them, no, they're wrong on stuff that you heard or you don't even know if you heard and you're just BSing your way around it. So it's kind of like, annoying in a sense.
The I forgot who it was. It was either Conan or Bully Ray. One of them was like Meltzer gets his stuff from a source that 50% of the time is wrong. So
Yeah.
when he throws his booking ideas out, it's stuff that anyone like me or you could say. Like I remember a couple years ago when Goldust had turned heel, I told my friend I was like, "Oh, this is going to lead to Goldust and Finn Balor," which it did for one match. And I'm like, anyone can do this, you know? Like I don't know why Meltzer is getting like he's a great historian. Don't get me wrong, but he needs to put some brakes on his vehicle.
Yeah.
All right, Elias. Anything else on WWE, or move on to AEW?
We can move on to AW, but I want to break some interesting news.
You better not spoil this
Uh,
episode that's going on right now.
No, it's not on it has nothing to do with what we're currently watching. So, while superheroes, women in wrestling is coming back to coming back into fruition, and AJ Lee is back as an executive producer for WoW,
Oh yeah, and Tessa's supposed to be the face of it, right? That's what I
and
was reading.
Tessa is the face of women in wrestling, or yeah,
Hmm.
women in wrestling.
I
That's
would love to
interesting.
see if I knew no bodily harm would be done to AJ with her injury history. I would love to see AJ have another match. Um, I also think if Tessa is in WoW and she has like 18-month run where she's good behavior, good backstage, I think she'll eventually get to one of the
Yeah, I
TV
agree.
shows.
I think she's been gone enough where um she's been gone enough where she can remake her name in a sense. But that's pretty good. I mean, I haven't heard of women in wrestling in a while. I think the last time I heard of it was when Santana Garrett and was in it and a couple of
Yeah.
other women. So I'm interested to see about this. This is going to be pretty cool to see them come back and see what they're offering, especially with AJ has a productive executive producer. I think it's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna happen. And she will also be according to Denise Salcedo from Fightful, she's going to be providing color commentary for each broadcast.
That's good for her, dude. I love AJ. I loved her character. I think she's very charismatic. I think she'd be very good in that role. And leading right into AEW, I think CM Punk's a great commentator. I hate the 4-man boot, the 3-man boot. I hate it, but I think CM Punk is very good to have there, especially if Jim Ross is gonna back off a little bit.
Yeah, I think having him Taz in the booth switching them out, I think that's a good thing. I think CM Punk is an actual commentary. Even when he was in WWE doing commentary for a while, I really enjoyed his commentary. I really enjoyed.
You know who was really underrated?
Who?
Jey Uso when he was doing commentary.
Yeah,
just wanted to get that out there. A lot of people don't remember that, but when they had Jey Uso,
he did it for a month or so. I think he did it for a month or so.
Yeah.
So I have no problems with that. I think he did really good. I think that I was going back to a little bit about AJ. I thought she's gonna be an on-screen personality too. When she was GM of Raw, I think she did a good job at it too. So I'm interested to see exactly what's gonna happen with that. Getting into AEW, I thought that last week's episode was a little. It was good, straight to the point. I feel like they were preparing for this week, so I kind of felt like there's some points in the show that kind of fell flat. But that's
it was a feel good show for Brody.
Yeah, it was a real feel good show. I really thought my favorite match of the night was Sammy versus Miro. Sammy looked really good, even though I think he tweaked his knee in between somewhere. But I feel that like I said, I thought they did a good job because we were both thinking that he was going to lose against Miro, which, in some aspect of it, I wasn't ready for Miro to lose, but I thought that they pulled the trigger right and they made this a good feel moment for Sammy. And I thought
Miro could easily win it back if Lana debuts and helps him or whatever.
Yeah, and I thought also it's a good moment to be able to spotlight the homegrown talent. So I thought that was a good job by them to pull the trigger on that. I think Sammy's reign is going to be a little long. I don't foresee it being a short reign. I think they're going to try to push it at least a couple of months, 6 months at least.
Do you think that let's talk about this MJF Darby promo.
Ooh.
So I was watching my dad. My dad didn't know the whole Darby story. So he found out that night. I knew it because they talked about it on the very first AEW, I believe, when Darby came out. So my dad literally was like, MJF does not give a fuck. And I'm like, nope, he doesn't.
No, and that's one thing that I like about MJF is the fact that he pushes the line no matter what, and he embraces the skill persona. I thought that his line about his uncle dying in a car crash and that the wrong person died, I thought that pushed the limit, but at the same time, it even Darby kind of had to take a moment, even if he was selling it, but you could tell that it kind of it kind of ticked them off a little bit. So I think AJ does. I mean, not AJ, but I thought that MJF does a great job at pushing the envelope and actually fitting into that heel persona. But the best thing about this is that whenever he turns face, that face turn is going to be killer.
I think they're going to experiment with it with Max Caster first. I think the Acclaim will turn face soon, especially because when all that stuff came out about, he shouldn't have said this, the AEW fans, that's one thing I'll give them. They live by the sword, they die by the sword. They were like, no, Max Caster's our boy. We're used to this. I could see Max Caster and Anthony Bowen got a great story. He's openly gay. It's a great story. You could have, God, dude, I cannot imagine the stuff that MJF would say to him, but then I can't imagine what Max Caster would say back.
Yeah, I think an open promo war just between Max Caster and MJF will be gold. Just to see exactly what is said, especially specifically because Max Caster is great at, just even though he's great coming up with his flows, I think he'll be great on the mic just coming out with it. So I'll be interested to see exactly what they're gonna do with that.
We all said Darby and MJF in our group chat. We all said that it was a feud we didn't know we wanted until we saw that we were getting it.
Yeah, and I thought that promo that MJF did about the four pillars being him, Jungle Boy, Sammy, and Darby really spoke to the growth of what AEW is trying to do. They're trying to build, like, yes, they're bringing all these AWWX, WWE stars. They're bringing all these old indie guys, not indie guys, but these big stars from New Japan, from everywhere. And but at the same time, they don't let us forget that they're building these four guys to be the future of AEW. Same thing with the women's division with Britt Baker. They're building the division around her, and they're still like kind of like allowing all these other homegrown talents like Chris Statlander
Thunder
Thun-
Rosa and
Ty
all.
Thunder Rosa, Ty to and Anna Jay to get their time as well. So I think that's a pretty I think that's a pretty cool thing that I appreciate about AEW, what they're doing. And that promo, just basically seeing MJF say not make it about him a little bit. So kind of showing those that little face turn, in a sense, being like, hey, these are the four pillars of AEW. This is kind of like the four horsemen of AEW, the workhorses of AEW. This is the future. And then him turning back heel and just being like, but I'm the most important one. I'm the one that is everything. So I thought that was a pretty cool statement. I thought that was a pretty cool thing that they did to kind of like sell it and kind
Uh,
of do it like that.
I would like if Jungle Boy gets a title before MJF as well, and then one day, like you have the three other guys. You have Darby, Jungle Boy, and who was the third one? He said, Darby,
Sammy.
Jungle, Sammy. Like all three of them in the ring, kind of like how you had that Punk, Daniel Bryan, Jack Ryder moment on Raw a while ago. You remember when all
Yeah.
three of them had titles? If you have a moment where Jungle Boy, Sammy, and Darby all have titles, or one facing off for the main title, all of them in the ring just bagging on MJF, and then maybe MJF disappears for a little bit, and he's like, maybe I'm doing this wrong. Maybe I do need the crowd on my side, you know?
And I think that's where I think the face turn comes, in a sense, that them trying to do all that and just be like, hey, I'm the future. I'm gonna, like, when he sees that whatever he's doing is not working, he takes a little time off, and then all of a sudden he turns face. He comes back on the face turn. I think he'll get the crowd with him eventually after
So
that.
you watch MLW a good amount. When I posted
Yeah.
that video of MJF singing to Penelope, had you seen that before?
No, that was the first time I saw it, because
Okay,
I caught on a little bit before they went on the break for I knew about MJF because he was part of that faction with Gino.
yeah.
So
So
I caught on there and then just stopped. I was on and off. I was there when Jacob Fatu won the championship.
okay. So if you go with the whole, I don't know how you do it now because I've been saying this for weeks now. I love the way they're Kip Davian's doing his gimmick change. I really like the new gimmick he's running, even though it hasn't been on TV yet. Y'all can Google, go to Twitter, y'all find out what it is. But
Yeah.
if you have the whole MJF, like, dude, I did this because I was heartbroken. I think it could be hilarious.
I think he has that comedic sense where he could pull it off. I think that's one thing about MJF that I like, that he can be a comedian. He could, like, even when they were doing the Stadium Stampede, when he was doing the whole set with the whole little segment with Jericho in the room, in the trainer's room, or going into the conference room, going into the coach's office. I thought that he showed his comedic side there, and even when they were doing those little numbers, those musical numbers, I thought that it showed MJF's versatility in being a face and a heel at the same time. So I can see that.
I would also like, if you don't go that route, I would like if MJF just turned one day when after they turned Cody heel. Cody got there talking crap. MJF just comes down and says, "Dude, we don't care," and just go from there.
Yeah, I most definitely agree. I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens with him. Is there anything else we want to talk about AEW?
Dude, I honestly don't remember it because it was so long ago. It was a week ago. What was the main event?
That was the Miro versus Sammy match.
Miro and Sammy. Yeah, I was happy Sammy won. I do want to talk about. They announced that I read on Wrestling Inc. that the TBS title will be a secondary women's title. Okay, I'm guessing you saw something on that already mentioned.
I plead the fifth.
Okay, cool. So, okay, would you be more excited for a secondary women's title or a trios title?
I wouldn't be happy for both. Like, I wouldn't be excited for both. Honestly, if either or happened, my level of excitement wouldn't be up here because, for one, the women's division isn't solid enough yet to introduce a secondary title. But I understand why they're trying to do it. As far as the third one, the trios title would be kind of like, well, we already know that's going to happen eventually because of the way that AEW has their
Faction.
AEW has their tag and their faction set up that they can do 3 people at one time. So I don't know.
I think if you do the trios title and the very first match is a blood and guts type match where you have Lucha Bros and Pac versus Jurassic Express, I think it could be fire. You know, I think it could be fire if you do Swagger, Jericho, and Sammy. If you do 3 guys from the Dark Order, I think it is coming. Yeah. I think they have enough talent. I think the trio title would intrigue me.
I think so. I think it would intrigue me as well. I'm just like kind of curious to see when that they're gonna pull the trigger on it. It's been teased enough where we can honestly say that it's gonna happen, but we're just trying to see exactly when they're gonna pull the trigger on it. Which I think if they do anything, it'll probably be at Double or Nothing, or it'll probably wait till next year at All Out.
Yeah,
because they're still trying to finish the Elite still has the feud with Christian and them, and they're still doing all that. So, and if I see anything, I think what probably would happen was that what probably will happen is that that the what's going to happen next will probably be that we're going to see the dissension of or the breaking up of the Elite eventually, to because of the fact that they're with Adam Cole in it. I think they're still going to play off that storyline that they had, the storyline that they were having before everything happened, when the Elite turned on when the Elite kind of turned on Adam Cole. Unless they're not going to build off of that, then I don't know what's going to happen. So
yeah, other than that, I know we say that the women's division didn't have the depth, but I thought the triple threat on Rampage was fun.
Well, let me rephrase that. They don't. It's not that they don't have the depth.
They don't give them the time.
They're not given the time to actually, become that women's division that we know that they could have. Huh. Interesting. Okay. I would watch AEW Dynamite right now when you get done, because the tag team match is not the tag team, but that ladder match is pretty interesting.
Lio Rush, excited? No,
not really. Lio Rush has retired twice already. I like Leo Rush. I think he's a good talent, but I don't know exactly what to say about him because he keeps every time he gets injured or anytime something happens, he retires and then he retires and then he comes back. So I like what he's doing in New Japan. I'm interested to see what they're gonna do with him at in AEW. So, but other than
Okay,
that,
let
I'm
me
just
ask you a
like
question. I don't want to know who it is. It's a Joker, a roster member, or did it debut?
roster member.
Okay. Is it exciting?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. So I will watch that now. Anything else you want to touch on, Elias?
That's pretty much it. I think I want to get back and finish this ladder match. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in for this episode of Weekly Wrestling Heat. We'll be back next week with another episode covering this week's action in
Oh,
AEW.
one yes or no question. Did you watch Road to the Top?
I watched the first episode, and I'm going to watch the second episode.
Oh, damn. You're one of the 1,500 viewers or whatever, dude. I'm excited for you.
I watched it. I didn't watch it live. I watched it on a replay. But today is one of those ones where I'm going to actually watch it live because I'm already watching wrestling.
Okay. Sounds good.
So, either way, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back next week. We're for the next 2 weeks. We'll be on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
And we'll probably do Wednesday because I land on Tuesday, so we'll probably do Wednesday.
We'll do Wednesday. We'll be back next Wednesday with another episode. And other than that, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy wrestling, enjoy the rest of your week, and as everybody here says, peace. Peace. Where's my mouse? All right, here we go.